Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review. I'm here today to talk to you about Eek the Cat, the series rundown review. This is really a forgotten Fox Kids cartoon series that used to air on Saturday mornings. Man, this takes me back. I just remember watching this little purple cat who's so friendly and nice, always trying to help people, but always getting attacked, beat up, and everything else. It was like a very unique cartoon that went through a couple of changes. It ran for 5 seasons, and it's a total of 75 episodes. Now, it was created by the voice of Eek, who is, what's that dude's name? Bill Coop. And it was also created by Savage Steve Holland. And so, what was so unique about this cartoon was that its format changed. In the first season, it was simply just Eek the Cat. And Eek is this little cute, cuddly, fuzzy purple cat who was originally supposed to be pink, but they turned him purple for the show. And he has a girlfriend named Annabelle who's way taller than him, who is like supersized and is pink. And she's like a sudden belle with these skinny little arms and skinny little legs. And her guard dog, Sharky the shark dog, who looks like a pit bull with a shark's face. And so he lives with this family, a human family, but he can't communicate with them. But he does talk to other humans and stuff and other animals. Now there are tons of other characters, like too many to even name, but I really don't care about them. Only person I ever cared about was Eek. And it was just a unique cartoon because normally you'll see shows like this, like Looney Tunes, Tiny Toons, and the Maniacs, but it would be more like a variety type thing, and everybody knew each other and stuff like that. And so they would all interact with each other and bop each other on the head and try to like maim everybody. But with this cartoon, it was just a single cat going, getting all like the maiming and the bopping and stuff on him. And until they changed that in the second season. In the second season, it was retitled to that of Eek and the Thunder Lizards. And they introduced the Thunder Lizards. It's these three, I think they're Triceratops, I think. And they had to get rid of these two little human cavemen and stuff. And I remember watching the Thunder Lizards. I'm like, okay, it's all right, but I'd rather just see Eek and everything. And so then that lasted for 3 seasons. And then by the fourth season, they added another segment called Clutter, which was this weird thing that I never even knew about that because I think I tuned out by the fourth season because I was starting to get really tired of the Thunder Lizards because I just wanted more Eek and they was showing less Eek because the creator who voiced Eek, he left the show, but he still voiced the character. And so I was really tired of the Thunder Lizards, and I just really wanted to focus more on Eek and everything. And I just remember, like, there's not really much to say about this. You can watch it on YouTube. It's not out on DVD, I believe, and it's not out on streaming. It's a little Canadian cartoon. And so for the most part, it's just nothing really to talk about. I'll talk about like a few episodes on what happens in those. But basically, the main character of Eek, like I said, he's voiced by Bill. And he's this lovable cat who always just wants to help everybody for some reason. He's just one of those good-natured type people. However, bad stuff always happens to him. He's always being chased, he's being hit, he's being like people trying to like blow him up. It's just like crazy stuff. And he's constantly getting chased by the shark dog and everything, who's very protective of his owner. And basically every episode is just like that. And his catchphrase is kumbaya. And his other catchphrase, well, it never hurts to help. It's just like a good natured little dude, you know what I'm saying? Who always has all this bad stuff happens to him. And then when like all the bad stuff happens to him, that's when the guitar music start playing, the theme song. And like he's all like, oh gosh, it hurts, it hurts. And so, like, but the creation of this came from Savage Steve, who had a cat and everything. And so Annabelle, She was voiced by Tawny Chiton, I think her last name you say. May she rest in peace. And then Karen Harbor was the second voice. And so I think Tawny did like the first like probably 3 seasons, and then Karen did like the rest. And in Annabelle, she was like this like sudden charm type girl, and she was just like it's what she was like overweight, and he loved her to death and everything, and that was so sweet. And he never saw her appearance for being like overweight because he just saw her as a human, well, a cat. I'm about to say a human being and everything. And so some episodes will be like this. In the episode Doll, Eek is watching a Squishy Bear cartoon. It's a cartoon within a cartoon. Squishy Bears are kind of like a mini segment of their own. They're a parody of like the Care Bears, and they're in New York for the first time, and they got all their jewelry and stuff on, thinking New York the nicest place in the world. Then they get beat up and have all this stuff taken. Well, Eek finds out there's a Squishy Bear movie coming out tonight. So he's all excited and everything, like he wants to see it, right? And so then he gets like a knock on the door from like his neighbor, a squirrel who just moved into a treehouse. Well, Eek's all excited because he invited him over for a pretzel. He introduces him to his family, and his family is the most dull people in the world. Like every time the father introduces the family, he says everybody by name. And then when he talks about an event, he's all like, "My family was there." And then he re-says their name like again. And then like he'll show like video footage of them, and he'll like point everybody out and say their name like again. And so after all that, he leaves and he's all like, "Aren't they swell?" That's another one of his catchphrases. And so then he sees some rope, and the rope goes all the way into Sharky's doghouse. So he wants to tie it all up so nobody will trip over it. Aw, ain't he precious? Well, Sharky's in his doghouse and he's painting some type of like 16th chapel type thing. It took him 11 years. When Eek pulls the rope, it pulls the scaffolding that's keeping him up, and everything crashes down and paint is everywhere. His masterpiece is ruined. Of course, he's furious and he chases Eek all around town. But then he stops by a dangerous toy store, a weapon toy store. And so he takes one out and he gets like a rocket and he shoots it at Eek. The chaos like ensures and everything, and then they're both taken back. They both on top of the rocket, and they go back to the treehouse of the squirrels. So of course the man thinks Eek wants to hang out again. So he makes Eek watch a bunch of home movies. Tons of them. That takes a full year to watch. By this time, Eek is like cuckoo for Cuckoo Puffs, and Sharky's pissed because he's kind of like, "What did you do to Eek?" So he goes up there and they make Sharky watch. Well, Eek watches his little movie and everything, and he's all happy, but he's wondering whatever happened to Sharky. And as you can see, Sharky is like just like in agony because the family is dulling him to death. In the episode Cat Try Hard, Eek is watching Elmo the Elk. It's another cartoon within a cartoon and entirely like a mini segment of his own. So after watching that, there's a commercial about sick cats at a hospital. And they talking about how they need this material and this material to make the cats happy. And he's all like, "Kumbaya, I have all that stuff. I can like help them. It never hurts to help." You know how he does it and stuff. And so like he gets all this stuff ready and he puts it in the box, but he has no ribbon for the box. So we see Shark Dog in like his doghouse, and he's making an ice sculpture he's been working on for like 3 or 8 years. And I think he has like a giant ribbon tied to it to a tree so that it doesn't slide and fall around. Well, of course, Eek is looking for a ribbon. He takes the ribbon and then the ice crashes. This pisses off Shark Dog the way he calls all his family members who live literally around the entire world. And what he's planning on doing, him and his family members are gonna kill Eek. So they change the street logo and everything, and or the street sign, I meant to say, so that he gets diverted. And then they find this condemned building and they turn into like a cat's hospital. And so as he's in there, they're all trying to like blow him up with different type of like bomb devices. However, Eek in his clumsiness and his weird optimistic views, he's just like roaming around like the condemned building, and so pretty much every attempt gets foiled, and when it does, the shark dolls get like blown up, and after that they decide, you know what, we're just gonna give up, pack our bags and go home. Well, Sharky's like the last one left, and so Eek is like depressed because he can't find none of the cats. Well, there's tons of dynamite in the condemned building, and Sharky is like getting it ready. Well, Eek sits on the detonator and blows Shark Dog up. And when he blows up, he flies all the way across town to the cat's hospital, and he crashes through the building. There's tons of wires attached to him at like to break his fall, right? So the little kitty cats, they think that Shark Dog is a piñata. And they go at it with sticks. And so that's basically like the gist of like what Eek the Cat is. It's just this like happy little cat, and he always gets like, you know, him and Shark Dog always go on these weird adventures where Shark Dog is trying to kill him, and then they eventually have to work together sometimes, or something happens where like, you know, there's lots of like crazy like hijinks going on and people getting bopped in the head and stuff like that. It was just a weird, wacky cartoon. I miss this cartoon so much. They really should put it like on DVD or like just something, you know. But then, you know, after a while, I guess people got tired because, you know, they kept bringing in all these different segments, and people just wanted to see Eek and Eek only, you know. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.